This is KCTV 5 News at 5.
It's hard, and it's hard to explain to your children.
It's a hate crime that has shaken the entire country. The suspect in court for the first time, accused of killing 9 people at a historically black church. Thank you for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Ellen McNamara. Brad is the night off. We have in-depth coverage on the church massacre. KCTV5's Heather Staggers shows us what a local group is doing in the metro to mend the racial divide. We start, though, with Marley Hall, who's in South Carolina, to tell us what happened in court today.
Ellen, the suspect Dylan Roof showed no emotion in court today, but family members of those who were killed, they made statements that were tearful and heart-wrenching.
Are you employed? No, sir.
21-year-old Dylan Roof calmly answered the judge's questions via video conference. He's in custody facing 9 counts of murder and a weapons charge in connection with the shooting at Charleston's Emmanuel AME Church. The judge allowed the victim's relatives to speak at the hearing.
I would never be able to hold her again, but I forgive you.
After court, Nadine Collier explained how she can forgive.
I'm a Christian woman. I believe in God.
CBS News has learned Roof purchased a .45 caliber handgun with birthday money from his father. Roof told investigators he planned the attack for some time and picked the location because it was an historic African-American church. According to a police affidavit, Roof shot the victims multiple times and made a racially inflammatory remark before leaving the scene of the crime. Investigators say his father and uncle identified him to police after seeing surveillance pictures. The memorial outside the Emmanuel AME Church continues to grow as people of all ages and races come to pay their respects. Marissa Mangus and her mother came to pray and were overcome by emotion.
It's hard, and it's hard to explain to your children.
The city of Charleston will come together tonight for a vigil. Charleston's mayor says a fund is being set up by Wells Fargo Bank to help pay for funerals and help the church continue its work. In Charleston, South Carolina, Marley Hall, KCTV 5 News.
Thanks, Marley. The judge in Charleston set a $1 million bond for a weapons charge that Roof faces, but the judge did not have the authority to grant bond for the 9 murder charges he's facing. So for now, he'll remain behind bars.
Truce became a racial dividing line when a lot of the subdivisions had to take out their color restrictions and their restrictions on people for their race or their religion.
The massacre in Charleston has put the discussion of race front and center. And here in the metro, some say there needs to be more talk about race relations. KCTV5's Heather Staggers continues our in-depth coverage. She spoke with folks about how improving the city can help mend racial divides. She's live now with that story. Heather.
Well, Ellen, many will tell you that Troost Avenue has long been known as the racially dividing line among the city, separating the whites from the blacks. Well, one group says they want to dissolve anything that's left of that, and it begins with community improvement and involvement. At one point in Kansas City's history, residents say Troost was a vibrant avenue.
It was booming. Lots of businesses, beautiful.
Some contribute the downfall of Troost to the white flight of the 1960s.
Troost became a racial dividing line when a lot of the subdivisions had to take out their color restrictions and their restrictions on people for their race or their religion. And all the white people basically moved south.
Teresa Van Akron lived in the Troostwood area 20 years ago. She's hoping it will return to a bustling neighborhood.
I know a lot of people who live in the Troost corridor who just love their older homes and love fixing them.
The Troost Community Improvement District, or CID, is doing just that. Formed in 2013, the group provides several crews who clean up, removing weeds, graffiti, and trash every day. They also provide a roving security patrol.
Troost gets an unnecessary bad rap. I've been here, like I said, for 20 years. You've got a lot of substantial businesses, other schools in the area, and we are trying to improve that image.
An image they hope would erase the racial divide and bring back vital businesses and thriving families to the area.
Troost should not be considered a dividing line. It shouldn't be seen as a dividing line. It's part of the city. We're all part of the same city, and we should work together to make it a better place.
Now, the Truce CID has their own security team. They're known as the Truce Titans, and the crew for cleaning, they're the Truce Troopers. All of this is funded by an additional 1/2 cent sales tax and a yearly special property tax for those residents. Live from Kansas City, Heather Staggers, KCTV 5 News.
Heather, thank you. A lot of people have turned to social media to join the conversation and share their thoughts and even prayers. Coming up all new at 6, Heather finds out whether or not social media is helping or hurting the racial divide. And we'll continue to follow this story, and we'll have a lot more coverage coming up right here at 6 o'clock. You can also get more information on our website, kctv5.com, including more details about the victims on our site. You can share your thoughts and prayers on our Facebook page. New at 5, 4 people have been arrested for allegedly kidnapping and beating a woman in Lawrence. 25-year-old Tabitha Mallory, 29-year-old Anthony Thomas, 26-year-old Christopher Fast, and 23-year-old Chelsea Adams were all arrested in connection with that crime. The woman was taken to the hospital to be checked out. We're told she is expected to be okay. Royals fans continue to break the internet, stuffing online ballot boxes for the MLB All-Star Game. And we have in-depth Royals coverage on the All-Star voting and tonight's star-studded game. We first start with KCTV5's Nathan Vickers to explain what votes the MLB is now throwing out. And Nathan, we're not talking just about a few, we're talking about millions.
Yeah, 60 million, maybe even 65 million. Lots of votes. But hey, if you're one of the Royals fans that's voting 35 times a day, keep on doing it. Don't let any of this stop you. MLB says your vote will still count. You should still keep voting. The only votes they're throwing out are the ones that are done illegally.
You can just go nonstop until you hit
35 times a day, no problem for Tyler Hilsman.
I think the more the merrier.
He's a lifelong Royals fan who votes any chance he gets from his laptop or his phone.
For better or worse, they let the fans vote 100% of the starters, and why not vote for your home team?
It's not legitimate voters like Hilsman who are the problem. The MLB makes it easy to vote repeatedly. Tech expert Ramsey Mosen says it's almost too easy.
If someone wants to hack a form, it can be done even with multiple barriers that you put up.
The MLB said this week it threw out more than 60 million online All-Star votes. But it's largely due to hacker programs that cheat the system. As Royals spokesperson Toby Cook points out, the numbers the league announces every week already reflect the discarded illegal ballots.
We have no reason to believe that this entire movement is anything other than a grassroots Royals reaction.
For anyone who's concerned their votes won't count, that Royals players will lose votes, or that the team will be disproportionately affected.
Major League Baseball has said that isn't the case.
That's why Hilsman plans to keep voting the right way, 35 times every day.
It's the fans' game, and it'll be fun either way. I mean, we've already made our mark.
Those 60 million votes account for about a fifth of the votes so far, and the MLB says that they have to discard that many votes every year. It's always about a fifth of the votes, about 20%. Now, also, the MLB has not said whether it would intervene if there is an all-Royals All-Star team. So keep on voting for Omar Infante. Keep on voting for all of those Royals. Reporting live from Kauffman Stadium, Nathan Vickers, KCTV 5 News.
Keep on voting. Thanks, Nathan. The K is a popular place to be right now, not only for the Royals game, but also for the Big Slick Celebrity Weekend. While friendly softball game, while that game is a lot of fun, the point is to raise a lot of money for Children's Mercy Hospital. Today, we were at the hospital as the 5 guys who started the fundraiser kicked off the weekend and met kids who will benefit.
The boys are back in town.
With that, David Keckner, Eric Stonestreet, Rob Riggle, Paul Rudd, and Jason Sudeikis made their fun weekend official. A weekend that they and many of their Hollywood friends look forward to every year.
It's just nice to bring people home to a city and a place that we can all be so proud of.
When we started with the goal that we would maybe, if we could just hit $50,000, which was 6 years ago.
In the last 5 years, Big Slick has raised more than $2.25 million for Children's Mercy, a hospital where about every other day a child is diagnosed with cancer.
And there is great pride in it because you don't think as an actor, all we ever wanted to do was, get a job. And then when you actually get jobs and recognition from your jobs, and then the fact that you can sort of do good with that, is very meaningful.
Many kids were on cloud nine, playing checkers, go fish, and taking photos with the stars. Parents were appreciative.
They're very genuine people when you sit down and meet them, and it was something she got to look forward to since we were here overnight, and it makes for a very long night.
And while the hometown guys understand their impact,
there are people that have never been here that say, like, I really want to come. I heard that event that you do in Kansas City is amazing, and the hospital is amazing.
They also realize sometimes laughter is the best medicine, even if they're a little cheesy.
The Royals are really stepping up to the plate. Yeah. I just thought of that.
Yeah, they had a really good time today. Now, all of the guys are wearing KC shirts made by Charlie Hustle. And if you want one, you have to donate $100 to Big Slick. It, of course, goes right to the hospital. Well, the celebrity softball game is underway right now out at the K. KCTV5's Jonathan Carter is also live there with more. And Jonathan, as we just explained, a lot of big names are in town.
Yeah, absolutely. A ton of big names. The game just got underway. We can have our photographer Josh Collins show you a little bit there. They just started around 5 o'clock, and officially the K is now Celebrityville. Fans, they came from a long way to see this game, and earlier they saw some of these stars warming up. Celebs like James Vanderbeek, Tech N9ne, Johnny Knoxville, Dave Koechner, Paul Rudd, Eric Stonestreet, among others, ready to put their athletic prowess on display, or possibly lack thereof. Now, it doesn't matter, though, as long as Children's Mercy wins. Now, as for long-traveling fans, meet Sophie Dodge, who came from Orlando, Florida, just for Big Slick.
I always love KC, always love Royals, so being here for Big Slick is a big deal. I kind of chose that like around my trip home, too, so like the Royals games and how many I could hit while I'm here.
Now, she gets 2 games for the price of 1 today, and coming up at 6, more from Big Slick, including fans who showed up for the celebrity softball game and see the Royals game tonight as more like a little bonus. Live at the K, Jonathan Carter, KCTV5 News.
Looks like a lot of fun, JC, and a great crowd as well. Thanks so much. We'll see you here at 6 o'clock. The weekend is just about here, and this Father's Day weekend will be a hot one. Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan is live from Corporate Woods for Jazz in the Woods, a Take 5 to Care event in Overland Park. And Chris, you've been dancing a little bit out there.
Oh, Ellen, how can you not dance out here? I mean, when they start playing that smooth jazz, it just sort of, courses through your veins and you feel it, Oh, yeah. And I'm a man with 2 left feet, and as anyone will tell you. So it's probably tough to watch when I'm starting to do my dance moves here. But we're all set. Folks are really starting to show up here. Of course, we're in Overland Park, Corporate Woods. This is the 26th Jazz in the Woods, and we're a proud partner here. Of course, we're raising money for local charities. I'm going to have a lot more on the when, where, all the kind of good stuff that you need on Jazz in the Woods here in just a moment. Let me get you an evening forecast, because whether it's the Royals or you're coming out here for some fine music, we're not worried about pop-up showers, thunderstorms this evening. Oh, no. Mother Nature is a Jazz fan. Look at that sky. It is going to be a rain-free evening with temperatures in the 80s. We will talk about the weekend heat, thunderstorm possibilities, and again, more on Jazz in the Woods, Ellen, coming up in just a few minutes.
Look forward to that. Thanks, Chris. The search is on now for 2 escaped inmates nearly 2 weeks after they made a break for it. The latest on that search to put 2 convicted killers back behind bars. And not everyone can afford to buy a new car. But before you buy a used car, there are some things to learn. We'll show you what you need to look out for before paying up.